Hello family, it feels great to be here with you once again as we continue our wealth creation series here at the Money Farm Academy. If you've not subscribed to the channel yet, pause the video and do that right away before we zoom into today's content. So today we are going to discuss one of the most important concepts in your journey to building sustainable wealth. I call it the great divide between wealth and poverty. This is a concept well known to anyone who has studied basic accounting, yet very few people ever truly understand it to be able to practically apply it. Today we are going to talk about assets versus liabilities. What is an asset and what is a liability? I'm not just going to quote theoretical definitions for you, but give you practical renditions of the concept and present you with illustrations that will not just grant you a crystal clear understanding, but prepare you to immediately start implementing this system in your life. So stay tuned and watch to the end. Now, when teaching this topic, I usually illuminate the fact that no entity is called an asset or liability in its raw form. It is the utility of that entity that gives it a designation. For instance, a house is just a house, a car is just a car. What you do with each would make it either an asset or a liability. Generally speaking, the simplest definition is that an asset is anything that brings money into your pocket, whilst a liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. There are several other definitions depending on your source, which I won't bore you with. And I know the above definition is completely oversimplified. So to ensure a more meaningful understanding, let's explore the features of an asset and that of a liability. For any entity to be classified as an asset, it must possess these three qualities. 1. It must be something you have control over. 2. The control must have resulted from a previous transaction or event. And 3. It must have a future economic value. Thus, it should have the potential to generate a positive net profit. The last point is the most important, so take note of that. In a bit, we'll take a few practical illustrations, but before that, let's quickly outline the features of a liability. For something to be classified as a liability, it should have the following three features. 1. It presents the individual or business with an obligation. 2. The obligation is a result of a previous event. And finally, fulfilling the obligation will cause an outflow of cash or resources from the individual or the business. I hope this is clear to you. If not, you can quickly go back and go over them so that when we start analyzing the illustrations, then it will all make sense to you. Alright, let's take illustration number 1. You have £50,000 and decided to buy 5 Kia vehicles which you used to start up a transportation business. Do you have control over the 5 vehicles as a result of a previous event? Yes, you exchange your money for the 5 vehicles. Finally, is there a future economic value? Definitely. As long as your transportation business thrives and people start patronizing it, there is a potential for you to generate a net positive profit. So the 5 cars are assets. Second illustration. Assuming Mr. B also has £50,000 and decided to use it to buy the latest Range Rover for his personal use. Is this Range Rover an asset or a liability? First of all, he has control over the car as a result of a previous event. However, this car does not have a future economic value because as long as he's using it for his personal use, he's going to spend money continuously on it for maintenance and fueling, but there is no direct income coming out from the car. So as such, this car is a liability. I hope this is clear. Let's take another illustration to help you get it clearer. Now you just started your business and went in for a loan of £5,000 to grow your business. Is the loan an asset or a liability? Pause the video, do the analysis and come back. Let's see if you understand the concept. Good. So this loan is a liability, as paying it back with interest will require an outflow of cash from the business. Now, assuming you use this money this loan of £5,000 to buy new computers purposely for generating, for income generating activities of your business. Are the computers assets or liabilities? I'm sure by now you get this already. So these are assets, and the reason is that you have control over them as a result of a previous activity, and as long as these computers are being used for the purpose you bought them, they will eventually generate income into the business and lead to a net positive profit for the business. So these computers are assets. So to round up, the loan will stay as a liability until you've paid it off, while the computers will go into your assets column. These two are distinct transactions. Using the loan to acquire the computers doesn't change the loan status as a liability. The loan is a separate transaction, which is a liability. The computers are another separate transaction, which qualify as assets. So I hope this is clear for you. Remember to like, comment, and share this video if you found value. Next week, I shall present you with some of the assets that you as an individual can start acquiring to build your wealth portfolio. Until then, bye bye.